a very rainy Coolray Field in suburban Atlanta, Georgia, it is USL Soccer on ESPN+. Game 6 of the 7-game homestand to wrap it all up for ATL UTD2. Hosts the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who really are in a position to lock themselves in very high in the Eastern Conference playoff picture. The Stripes can play spoiler tonight if we can make it through the rain. Alongside Jason Longshore, I'm John Nelson. And Jason, when you look at the Stripes coming off a big come-from-behind win against Charleston.
Yeah, back-to-back games where Atlanta's conceded first and come from behind to get a result. Atula Guerra opened the scoring for the Battery right before he gets called up to the Trinidad and Tobago national team. Big week for him. But Romario Williams had an even bigger week. USL Player of the Week, 2 goals, both assisted by Andrew Carlton, the young homegrown for Atlanta United 2. Big performance for Atlanta, coming from behind to get a result, shows the quality of his young team.
A win against Charleston, a draw against Tampa, coming back for the second time to get points out of everything. And one of the guys that has been a fun watch all season long for the Stripes, a guy who's developed his game in John Gallagher.
John Gallagher has been the rookie star for Atlanta United too. 6 goals and 5 assists. But really what Gallagher's big thing this season has been is his versatility. He's played up top, he's played on both wings, right and left. He's played as a right back, he's played as a right wing back in a 3-5-2. That versatility is going to serve him really well with Atlanta United going forward. His great quickness has been a big part of it, but more than anything, he's a young guy, but he's emerging as a leader for Atlanta.
And on the flip side for the visitors, let's focus on someone who has had a career year, highs in goals, assists, and points.
4 goals, 8 assists, Kenardo Forbes, one of Bob Lilly's Rochester guys. He brought a ton of his former Rhinos to Pittsburgh. They have delivered for him. This is a guy with a lot of international experience, both with the Jamaican national team and in CONCACAF Champions League. He'll be a big-time focal point tonight without Nico Brett.
14th versus 3rd. Can the Stripes play spoiler? We'll have the answer for you when we come back. It'll be lineups in the first 45 minutes here with USL Soccer on ESPN+. Just around the corner, ATL UTD2 hosting the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Stick and stay. It'll be a wet night, but a fun one from the Proving Ground.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
Welcome back to a very wet Coolray Field. In between the open and now, the skies have opened up as everybody's trying to make sure that we can get everything in before Hurricane Michael starts. Jason Longshore, I am John Nelson. Jason, let's go through the starting 11s. Let's start with the visitors. What do you see?
The holding midfield, Mohamed Dabo from Senegal, graduate of the Inter Milan Academy, and Thomas Vanki Azil, NCAA Division II Player of the Year 2017. They're going to have to hold things down on a sloppy, wet field tonight.
Understatement, sloppy and wet. It's going to be slip and slide out there. What about the home side? You see a 4-4-2 maybe?
Some version of a 4-4-2, and I want to see how it comes together with Oliver Shannon, Chris Goslin, Laurent Kisiadou, and Alessandro Castro. Is it going to be a diamond? Is it going to be a box? Is it going to be a flat four? We'll see as we get into this.
Coaches, when you talk about the visitors, it is defense, defense, defense once you mention Bob Lilly's name.
Bob Lilly brought a lot of players from his former Rochester Rhinos that he knows very well to Pittsburgh. He is defense first, 17 clean sheets in 32 matches this season.
On the flip side, first-year head coach for the Stripes, Scott Donnelly.
Scott Donnelly's been getting a lot out of his group here lately. Some teams would kind of slack off towards the end of the season with nothing to play for. ATL UTD2 has looked very strong as the years went on.
And we are underway. It will be very interesting to see how the players respond to the select soccer ball and how the select soccer ball responds to the turf. Inside the box, deflected away, and it looks like Pittsburgh will come up with it here in the near side. They are in their white kits, white shorts, which should get very, very muddy very, very quickly. They'll be going from left to right. And the Stripes with Laurent Kisiadou working their way from right to left here in the first 45 minutes. Sent in with the left and behind the net, goal kick.
It's just going to be hard to get a clean strike on the ball today, but Atlanta's speed could give Pittsburgh some problems. When you look at a guy like Kisiadou, so good 1v1 dribbling, Alessandro Castro as well. Chris Goslin has shown a real explosive first step. They know where they're going with the ball at their feet. The defender, we'll see how their footing holds up.
And if you know where you're going before the defender does, that gives you a leg up, pardon the pun, on everything that's going on around.
And this is a heavily rotated Pittsburgh squad, so we'll see how they come together quickly. It's not all of the usual faces for the Riverhounds.
Foul on Canardo Forbes as Forbes hits the deck. The whistle given by our referee, Guido Gonzalez Jr. Your assistants, Matthew Osterhaus and Rashawn Clark. Your fourth official is Thomas Brigman.
A lot of Atlanta ties with that officiating crew.
Good takeaway early by the Stripes, but it's going to end up back in the white kits, sent back into the middle. And you see your first instance of just how wet that turf is, especially with the replaced infield.
Fitzpatrick was looking for a call there. Not sure how much contact was actually involved. That's one thing with the rain we're getting and the crowd being a little small tonight. We're hearing a lot of the noise from the field. Fitzpatrick made a rather loud yell as he went down that time. Usually not a good sign.
Third match of the season for Fitzpatrick, 103 minutes. He's scored 1 in his 2 previous. The captain working their way forward, trying to spring Kisiadou again in the corner, but Pittsburgh ends up with it. Let's see how they come out here in the attack as we are coming up on halfway through minute number 3.
It's a good run by Banjo to get behind Nick Law. Didn't pick him out that time.
Fitzpatrick tried to do something with it, but the captain came out with it with Metcalf, but nothing through center circle, and will end up on the back line once again for Pittsburgh.
When these teams met earlier this season, Pittsburgh won 1-0. They sat back and allowed Atlanta to control the possession, 60% of it, but they were still able to create more chances than the Stripes. Today looks like they're playing on the front foot a little bit more than that time.
And the next stoppage of play will kind of get into just how important this match is for the Riverhounds, kind of show you what's going on with the playoff picture as it is this very second. And you see right there in that replaced grass on the infield just what that ball isn't going to be doing here with the downpour at Coolray.
This is going to be tricky for Atlanta in the first half, trying to play out of the back, which is something that they do as a club consistently. Academy, first team, USL squad. It's going to be very difficult to do it, and here's Can into a puddle.
Can with the left sends a grounder, trying to clear. AJ Cochran ends back up with Fitzpatrick. Sent back into the middle third and back to the back line for Pittsburgh, and they'll reset. Chip to the near, chested down, nicely done by Lubon, but once again working their way all the way back, and they'll try it again from center circle. Turn, launch with the left, or launch with the right of the outside, so Alec Can easy pickup there as we start minute number 5.
Nice turn by Cristiano Francois. injury last season in Rochester cut his season short, but this is a good attempt with the outside of the right foot. Can has to be very safe and get his body down in case of the skip.
Whistle there on Dabo.
Dabo, tough tackling, holding midfielder for the Riverhounds, really sets the pace with them winning the ball back in midfield.
Shouldered off. And let's see what the Hounds can do with it here. Working over at the far, trying to cut in on Alessandro Castro, but Castro gets a cleat in. And Ollie Shannon will try to work it with a little give and go. Where's the outlet? Back to Can. Can will punch it with the left cleat. Send it up toward Devin Sandoval. High cleat there. But the Hounds will end up with it center circle and have possession once again here in minute 6.
You saw Alec Can actually step a little bit further away from his goal to make sure he catches that before it hits the infield sod.
The downpour that was here in the first 4 minutes has kind of calmed down somewhat, and I've just put that word in quotes because it's all going to be relative here with the slip and slide tonight. Big right foot that time by Forbes, blocked, but they'll reset. Nice little work there and cleared even better. Nicely done there by Sean Nicklaw to get rid of it.
Sean Nicklaw having to fill in as a center back with Atlanta United too. Tyler Ruthven was signed a little while ago and he's had a hamstring injury that's taken him out of action. Nicklaw typically plays on the outside or in the midfield. Started at center back in a 3-man back line over the weekend and looked really good. He gets the start next to AJ Cochran here tonight.
Once again thrown in by Pittsburgh, working over all the way back to the back line. Not afraid to go all the way back to come all the way forward. Forbes sends it forward too much.
Pittsburgh not a team that connects a ton of passes at a high rate. They're connecting their passes this season at a 72% clip. Atlanta United too, one of the top teams in the league at 81%. Pittsburgh right now is carrying the possession in the early going. We'll see if that continues.
Stripes sending it forward. Spin move there. Attempted to keep possession, but once again Pittsburgh ends up with it. But here comes pressure from the Stripes to the back line of Pittsburgh. Sent with the left into the middle. Nicklaw was sent guarding, but once again lack of control once again with conditions. A little too much working here in minute number 8. Pushing the back, Jackson Conway hits the deck.
Good defensive work earlier from Alessandro Castro. Not something he's especially well known for, but he's had a couple defensive interventions in the early going.
See what the Stripes can do here. Sent in with the right. Bounced into Conway. Conway trying to turn with it, but once again stout defensive work by Pittsburgh, and they'll come back in transition.
Rather optimistic trying to catch Alec Can off his line.
And off the outside of the right foot. Oh. Now here's what Pittsburgh is chasing. We'll get to it in just a sec, but right now it's the 2, the 3, and the 4. We'll give you the details in just a sec. You see Castro working over to the far. Nice work there. So let's see if anything can come of it. Castro, top of the box, was looking for a little help. Once again back and forth, but Pittsburgh comes out with it.
Castro thought he had a teammate a little closer, laid that off, and Chris Goslin had hung back.
Here at the near, Pittsburgh had a thought with Lubon and just decided to send it back, but now it's back in the middle of everything.
Heavy ball from Banjo.
Yes. Halfway through minute number 9. Thanks for accessing us however you are doing so, large device or small, here on ESPN Plus with USL Soccer. Match starting a half an hour before it was supposed to. Scheduled for a little after 7 o'clock Eastern time, but because of the weather and the impending heavy weather of Hurricane Matthew, which made landfall this morning in the Panhandle in the Gulf of Mexico, traveling rather quickly, but by Thursday everything will be done. But right now, Heavy weather here in the area. Sent in with the cleat, but cleared, but not all the way back out. Once again, near side with Lubon, sends it in with the right, intercepted. Third chance for the Riverhounds. Lubon wants it. He'll get it. Flags up.
Difficult for Atlanta's defense dealing with this sod and the ball skipping and slowing down. Atlanta has to adjust and just play safe and try to clear first time.
Guido Gonzalez not necessarily happy with that one. All right, so let's take a peek at what this game means. And this game is full points really for Pittsburgh. They really need the 3 here.
Yeah, they have to. They're in 3rd place in the East. They're 5 points behind Louisville City with Lou City's result last night. A loss or a draw locks them into the 3. They can't fall back to the 4, but they have to win here to have a chance at the 2.
And then you look at everything going on below it with 6, 7, 8, and 9. It's a heavy log jam there with 5, 6, 7, and 8 down there in the rest of the East.
It's going to be an interesting final weekend for the USL in the Eastern Conference. Nashville thought they had a playoff spot sealed up last night, but gave up 2 late to Toronto FC2. They don't have it sealed up until the weekend, and they have Cincinnati coming to town.
The irony of Caleb Patterson-Sewell in net for TFC2 there.
Oh, he had a huge night for TFC2 last night.
The Middle Tennessee native coming back to get a point for the team that he was in between the sticks for, and making it just that much more difficult for Nashville to end up with a playoff spot. Stripes wanted a call there for hand. Banjo with a little give and go. Didn't quite hit the right notes. There's your first banjo pun for the evening.
Bump.
Figured I'd get it out of the way in the first 12 minutes.
Good call.
Little help, a lot of help. Lubon needs it. Goes back and forth with Fitzpatrick finally after about 5 seconds of indecision. Kisiadu in pursuit. Not a whole lot behind it. Jackson Conway came in to close. Ends up in the hands of Alacan.
Good pressure from Conway. Sometimes in conditions like this, you have to play as a little bit of a defensive forward. Conway's had to do that a good bit tonight. He's filling the role pretty well for an academy player.
When you look at the 18, we'll get into the other academy guys who are here tonight. There's a lot of those 30s and 40s that are here this evening as a part of Scott Donnelly's roster.
One of them chasing right now, Alessandro Castro, is an academy graduate who earned a USL contract this season and has a goal of the year potential nominee in his belt.
Luke Mitchell, Dylan Gaither, who had a big point saving chance here at the Proving Ground earlier in the homestand. But that's been the fun part of watching the Stripes this season, is seeing the growth of a lot of these guys and seeing where they are now. Pass intended for Sandoval, but Jackson Conway down with it, nicely poked away. But here comes Pittsburgh again in minute 13.
Conway nearly with an opportunity to take off there. Big time intervention by Vanky Azil to take that off of Conway's boot.
Sent forward, nicely settled. Castro in the 1-2 over here to Metcalf. Kisiadu playing catch. The idea was possibly Cochran, but ends up with Shannon and all the way over. What can Gallagher do with it? Ball's wrested away.
Francois shuts Gallagher down on that attempt.
Stripes shut it back down, coming back the other way. Castro trying to dribble out of traffic. Slalom course was there, but so were 5 white kits. Just cleared to the middle third, but once again the Stripes end up with it all the way back to Alec Can in that outfield and the infield grass that was placed in. So very careful with it as he sends it to Cochran, but picked off.
That's a couple low passes through the middle that have been picked off.
Foul there on Metcalf. Nicely done by Kisiadu just to put a little loft on the ball and send it backwards a little bit so the Stripes defense can reset here halfway through minute 14. Set in with the right into the middle, missed a bunch of heads and into the splish splash, but back comes another opportunity for Pittsburgh. Near corner, Nicely defended by Kisiadou, but Lubon looking to do something with the left. Kisiadou ends up with a deflection. Castro with the header to clear.
Great work by Kisiadou to stay strong there. Lubon just shields him off, gives him the Heisman to stiff arm him away, but Kisiadou stays in it and gets a block on the cross. Doesn't give up on that.
Foul on Pittsburgh as Devin Sandoval was trying to do something and turn with it. Hit the deck, got the call. So the Stripes now will once again set it up here, middle third. Over in towards second base, and just a very careful grounder from Metcalf to Cochran. Nicely placed, but what can Kissy do with a little give and go, but it's too hard. But there is activity, top of the box. Sandoval turns, blocked. Another opportunity. Castro launches over the outfield wall.
After Castro's goal earlier this season, he gets to have that first time any chance he gets. Tries to rip that through the back of the net, overshoots it. It's over the outfield wall into the bullpen.
And speaking of the ball that Alessandro Castro hit over the outfield wall, a very wet Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Second ball, won by Pittsburgh. A lot of heads touching it. Banjo sends it over here to the near. Lubon and Fitzpatrick. And working its way all the way back. Once again, Pittsburgh more than happy to work out of the back, work their way forward. Dabo sends it over. Too much on that pass, so it'll be a Stripes throw here as we head toward minute 17.
A little difficult for Pittsburgh to carry the possession. You can see that you're missing a few of your normal pieces. The flow is not quite there for the Riverhounds just yet. Atlanta looking to pick up the turnovers and break when they can.
And your leading scorer, Nico Brett, is in your 18. Obviously is not in the starting 11, but you have Nico if you need him a little later on. So a bit of a rotated squad by Coach Lilly here for this match tonight midweek.
Bob Lilly talked about it after the scoreless draw against Cincinnati on the weekend. With this schedule coming up, he was looking to rotate the squad. Some guys have a big opportunity tonight to place themselves in the mix for postseason action.
Loss of possession. Looks like Lubon wanted a call, didn't get it. Nicely defended by Kisiadou, so it's a Stripes throw, and Chris Gosselin tries to send it over, but once again intercepted. Nicely done by Pittsburgh. Left hand blocked in the middle of it. Banjo looking to come. A lot of bodies. Handball was requested, not given. No acknowledgement there by Guido Gonzalez, and so the defense slips and slides and puts the ball over the inline for a corner kick at the far for Pittsburgh.
That all starts with Chris Gosselin turning, very confident in his abilities, but a little too confident in the infield sod. It stops. Alessandro Castro turned to go and then gets caught in between. Pittsburgh continues it on, gets a chance. It's blocked. Oliver Shannon's on the slip and slide.
Sent into the middle of it. Can looking to punch clear. He does. Kisiadou heads it out. Pittsburgh retains possession, but that particular corner and the opportunity goes by the wayside. Metcalf tries to clear with a header. He can't, and the ball go over the inline. Goal kick.
Ambitious from Ben Fitzpatrick there, trying to get around Jack Metcalf to the outside. Good work by Alec Can to get a punch to that corner out off the deflection and get it clear of the 18.
Sent forward looking for Conway. Headed down. Little give and go here. That's going to go all the way back to Dan Lind. Some pursuit by the Stripes. Heads up with Can, so Can will end up with it this time. Simple entry to Cochran, and now Metcalf.
Conway rushing it a little bit for Atlanta United too. Thought he had Kisiadou a little closer to him.
And once again, the ball just stops right into that transplanted sod, but it gives Jackson Conway an opportunity, trying to send Sandoval forward. Can he control with the right? Too much behind Conway. Conway ends up with it again, works from right to left. And that foul was wanted by the Stripes there, not called by Guido Gonzalez, but he will slow things down to kind of take a peek on the player on the deck.
Sandoval throws himself into that to try to win it for Atlanta. Takes some heavy contact. Gonzalez lets it play. Sandoval tried to combine with Conway and Castro. It comes back to where Sandoval goes for it, maybe gets a touch to it, and takes a little bit of contact. Defender, according to Guido Gonzalez, must have gotten a slight touch.
Metcalf with the throw, settled, but settled over the touchline, so it'll head back to Pittsburgh just as quickly as the Stripes had it here, halfway through minute number 20.
It's one thing that's a little difficult for referee Guido Gonzalez tonight is the slip and slide nature of the field. It's going to give some problems, and he's trying to give players a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, I think, in how he judges tackles and incidents on and off the ball.
Sean Nicklaw had problems around that transplanted turf. Sent in with the left, Can follows, but Pittsburgh can't get there to settle with Fitzpatrick. But once again, intercepted as the Stripes try to do something with it. Sent in by Dabo off of Cochran, and it will be a corner kick here at the near.
It's a great read by Mohamed Dabo, stepping in front of Kisiadu. We saw that Metcalf had no opportunity to get anything behind that with Fitzpatrick chasing. Dabo reads it and earns a corner.
See what the idea is here. Sent in low, headed. Last touch, they say, by Pittsburgh. Goal kick.
Final touch off of Venky Azil. We've seen Venky Azil mostly play as a left back this season. He's playing in the holding midfield here tonight with Dabo. He was a player that turned a lot of heads in the MLS draft combine back in January. People were talking about him as a potential MLS draft choice. He's found a home here in Pittsburgh, though. He's had a great first season.
Sandoval almost got sprung, but it was over, and so Dan Lynn had no choice but to send it out with the right. So it'll be a throw for the Stripes here. Conway settles to Kisiadu. Looking for the switch. He'll get it. There's Gallagher. Castro looking to settle and twist, but they're going to call a foul as he tried to get the twist in without the ball. So
Ray Lee brings him down as Castro tries to turn.
Peering into the driving rain coming in as you're watching. It's coming in from the left field corner, and you see what the wind does right there. Just hangs the ball up. Lind calls for a fair catch and gets it. But as you're watching, the wind coming in is coming in from left and going basically from left to right, from the near corner flag to the far corner flag. So it's a crosswind that's going to create some added problems here with the wet.
That one looked to knuckle too as it was coming through. Then it gets stuck.
I think it's going to be one of those nights, partner.
Long ball from Lind looked like it kind of knuckled around midfield. No one could read it. Then it gets stuck in the outfield sod.
Gosselin and Castro looking for Sandoval, but it ends up with Pittsburgh again. Gosselin in pursuit, Conway in pursuit off of Conway's cleat. Will be a Pittsburgh throw halfway through 23.
Good pressure by Jackson Conway, just trying to make it difficult for Pittsburgh to connect passes.
All right, so since we're at the halfway point, what are your early thoughts here as we hit the quarter pole?
Just buckle up, get a poncho. Not much you can think about this one. It's just going to be who can stick with it and maintain their focus in these conditions.
Tried to send through, flag is up. Banjo thought he got in ahead of it all, but he did not in the eyes of the officials, so it'll be a goal kick.
So far, we're seeing Kay Banjo try to find the channel between Atlanta's center backs, between A.J. Cochran and Sean Nicklaw. But when he does drift to a side, he's trying to go at Nicklaw. It's a smart decision. Nicklaw is not a center back. He's playing it here due to injuries, due to absences. Holding up pretty well so far.
And can get rid of it there in that sod. He finally does with the right. Sends it up to Gallagher. Looking for Castro. And Nicklaw. Quick 1-2s. Trying to find some openings. Conway had one. A lot of folks in between ideas. Kay Banjo has it with a step over, but there's the captain to get it. And Chris Gosselin.
Big tackle on Kay Banjo. Great turn by Castro right there.
2 turns by Castro to keep possession for the Stripes. Goes all the way back to Can for reset. Cochran, not a whole lot behind it. And you see what happened there. It was a turnover, but once again, the defense with Metcalf and Kissiadou get it back, and the Stripes will end up with it. Back with Cochran. Here in the 25th, all the way back to Can, in that dangerous part of the turf. Splashes and more splashes. You said buckle up, partner. You weren't kidding. Castro trying to get out of a jam. He can't. Nicklaw whiffs on the idea off of his cleat. Last touch there, and it's a very quick Pittsburgh throw.
Look, it's against Atlanta's DNA to try to just bomb it out of the back and give away possession, but they're going to have to start trying to do that here. It's almost impossible for them to play out of their own half. Problem is that wind is blowing right in their face.
Step over. Castro hanging with it, but once again a give and go, and this one will get through. Flag is down, working on and nicely defended as Fitzpatrick tried to work his way toward Alec Can for a dunk, but it ends up being a corner.
Sean Nicklaw right there. He's able to keep him away from getting a clean look at goal. Can had the near post covered, but Sean Nicklaw again forced into duty as a center back. He is doing extremely well thus far.
Pittsburgh on the corner, bit of a splash, didn't get that full. Can Kissiadou spring himself? Had the idea, and they'll call a foul on Kissiadou as he tried to get possession back.
Yeah, unlucky. He's trying to make the dribble right there about 30 yards from goal, and the ball just gets stuck in the wet field and stops on him, and then he commits the foul as he's trying to find it. Big opportunity for Pittsburgh here.
See how well the Magic Spray holds out on a night like this. Castro behind the spray, 10 yards back. Everybody poised top of the box and in with the right header and in.
That's that first goal you just cannot give up. It's Thomas Vanke-Yazeel.
Off of the set piece, everybody was right there at the top of the box.
Atlanta tries to time it, and Vanke-Yazeel makes the run at the back post. Great delivery over the back line. Vanke-Yazeel with a clean look beats Alec Can. Gets inside of Devin Sandoval and wins the header.
So late in the 27th minute, Vanke-Yazeel gets the goal for Pittsburgh that they need as they continue their chase up the ladder in the Eastern Conference. Off of a set piece. 2 white kits, 1 striped kit. And advantage. Vanke-Yazeel was there, goes into the back of the net behind Alec Can, and it's 1-0 Pittsburgh. Tried to collapse on it again very quickly, but settled, and it's back to Pittsburgh as they'll try to work it on this side with Luban. Kissiadou in defense there.
We have to give credit to Cristiano Francois on that delivery too. Perfectly placed free kick to pick out Vanke-Yazeel. He's the only one who can get there on the back post.
So now once again the 3rd match in a row in the homestand. The Stripes down 1-0. Responded against Tampa with a goal for a 1-1 draw. Responded over the weekend, put 2 in the back of the net for the 2-1 win against Charleston. How do they respond here tonight? Ball's too far over the end line, so goal kick.
Pittsburgh's a different animal when it comes to getting that first goal. 14-1-3 this season when they score first.
The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. So follow at USL on Twitter for all the updates, especially with the playoffs coming just around the corner.
I believe our rain has stopped for a little while.
Let me find a piece of wood and I'll knock on it real quick. Nicely done with the slide there by Cochran to keep Luban from doing something, but Banjo with the lift just over the bar.
And no angle there for Banjo as he's getting closed down. Alec Can has the near post covered, but it's a good run by Lubon to create the opportunity to begin with.
Cochran will send it in from the left, and he'll send it center circle in pursuit. Stripes chasing. Can Lynn get rid of it? Yes, he can. He'll send it deep, but once again, in this match of slip and slide that we've seen in the first 30.5 minutes, pressure from Banjo just forces Can to get rid of it, but Banjo with the deflection off of him. They say he last touched it, so it'll go to the Stripes. Switch available. Picked up by Metcalf. Cochran. Nicklaw. Gallagher. Back to Nicklaw. See what he does with the right. Castro with the lift. There were a couple of bodies there. Sandoval is there, wants to do something with the right. But back to Castro. Back over to Gallagher at the far. Too much there, so it's back with Pittsburgh. They'll try to send it, but once again, nicely stolen, taken away. Looking for Jackson Conway. Header settled, but it ends up with Lynn.
I think Conway might have been trying to head that back across to give Kissiedu an opportunity, unable to really get much on it to test Lind.
So Lynn will send it forward. And it'll be Alec Can's turn.
See Atlanta still determined to play out of the back.
Nicklaw misfires there off of the right, and it'll be a Pittsburgh throw close to the center line.
It's a big thing to keep in mind as we get into the second half here and the teams switch sides. Atlanta will have the wind at their back. Pittsburgh will have to deal with the rougher conditions defending.
Idea for a run there and sending it back, looking for Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick has to come down with it. Lubon will work past Kissiedu. Banjo. Lubon called for it, didn't get it, so Pittsburgh now works over at the far. Centering pass with the left up toward the top of the box on Kissiedu with the left, but over the bar was Lubon.
Lubon tries to cut that to the inside and hit one with the left foot. Kissiedu is able to close him down enough to not give him a clean look. Doesn't test Alec Can.
Watch highlights from every game here in the 2018 season. Stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page. Like, friend, and be a part of the conversation at facebook.com/USL Soccer. Castro can't handle it, flags up.
Goslin put Castro in a tough spot there. It's hard to measure the weight of the pass in these conditions. Goslin gave Castro a tough one to control. Unable to keep it and loses it, but Pittsburgh's offside.
And one of the points that you made that I wanted to follow up on you about is just keeping your focus in these conditions because of the rain being as heavy as it is, pounding you in the face. How difficult is that for an athlete?
You just have to be able to forget it. It's not even about the rain or the wind at this point. It's about the mistakes that are just inevitable. I mean, you're going to have some bad touches. You're going to have some bad giveaways. You're going to have some mistakes happen. You just have to have that short-term amnesia just to be able to block them out. That one, I mean, it's a tough read coming out of the air for Metcalf in this wind. He miscontrols it. It goes off the hand. He gives up a free kick. You can't let that linger in your mind. You have to let it go and get ready for the next sequence because you're going to have something else crazy happen here in the next couple of minutes.
Alessandro Castro hanging out inside the 10. Tito Gonzalez asking him to back up just a little bit more. A nice gamesmanship by Castro to allow his teammates to get everything all figured out at the top of the box. Kissiedu was there, and now he'll work his way in as well. Sent in with the right, a lot of white kits there. Banjo with the opportunity, whiffs with the right, and the Stripes can have a break if they can settle it down. Spin move, Castro through the middle, sending Jackson Conway 3-on-2 if they can do something with it. Kisiadu at the near, but all those white kits coming back just as quickly. 7, 8 kits coming in right there, sent in. Conway trying to go with the launch. Second ball settled, and a foul.
Sandoval pushes off at the end. Conway kind of pops the header up as he's looking for Sandoval, and Devin goes in with both hands out, pushes the defender, clears out some space, and gets the foul called.
Halfway through minute 35, once again the Vanke Azil goal, and minute 27 is the margin so far. Pittsburgh trying to stay within arm's reach of possibly getting the 2 when it comes to being seeded here in the East, but they need a full result tonight. A draw or a loss will not do, and the skies opened up again.
That might have been our last bit with no rain tonight. It's going to get worse later. That's why the game was moved up 30 minutes for kickoff. Should be able to get it in. Fingers crossed. We're knocking on wood.
Yes.
But it's going to get nasty later.
Big work defensively there by Hugh Roberts, and it's just coming down in sheets. Almost looks like one of those movie sets when they sit there and you're trying to shoot a rain scene, almost like Singing in the Rain in the old days with the Gene Kelly.
I'm not singing.
Are you dancing like Gene Kelly?
No.
But you do style like Gene Kelly.
Maybe a little bit. No singing and dancing though. Nobody wants to see that or hear it.
Last touched by Pittsburgh. So Metcalf looking to send everybody further down. Devin Sandoval tries to win the header, and he's the one who does touch it last, but Pittsburgh will have a throw. Turnover to Jackson Conway. Gosselin over to Gallagher. Tries to spring Conway, but once again Pittsburgh right there in the middle of it defensively. Gonzalez let that joust go as both players hit the deck. Castro trying to get possession, nicely defended. A lot of bodies there. Flag is up there. There's a foul.
Chris Gosselin slow to get up for Atlanta. Just a massive collision at that point. Gosselin puts his hand up. He's okay. Gonzalez having a conversation. I believe that is with Ray Lee.
Yeah, it is with Ray Lee. Lee was a part of it as Gosselin hit the deck. Also there was Canardo Forbes.
Gonzalez is trying to let this game play out. He's very cognizant of the conditions and the effect they're going to have on the match. I think that was the conversation with Lee, is just play smart, be careful. You don't know where your feet are going to give way here on this field with it being so wet. Watch yourself in your challenges.
Up into the wind and the light, sent all the way down, trying to spring Banjo. Kay comes down with it. Nicklaw's with him. Tries to put it through Nicklaw, can't. Gallagher trying to get out of trouble. Castro sends it back to Nicklaw. Can Nicklaw get rid of it? Yes, he can with the right. Tries to send it up looking for Conway. Stout defense again by Pittsburgh. Sent deep, but Nicklaw will come back up with it. And the back and forth continues. Pittsburgh with a break down the middle. They have opportunity. They're nicely defended by the captain to give the Stripes possession.
A little telegraph there. Metcalf read it. Lubon had gotten inside of Kisiadu and had a chance at Channel to get in on goal, but Metcalf gets the left boot out and blocks that pass.
Metcalf back over to Nicklaw. Gallagher and Castro. Castro with the left. Center circle headed, but Cochran is there. Gosselin. Metcalf will come down with it. Nicely kept. Gosselin directing a little traffic, trying to send Jackson Conway for the over the shoulder, but it was too much there, and Lind ends up with it.
Like Goslin called for the crossing route on Conway and Sandoval. Nearly worked.
But the umbrella coverage from the corner at the back had a double team, and it was incomplete.
Yeah, you got me there.
Banjo with first touch there from Lind. That's last touch by Pittsburgh over at the far, and the Stripes will try to work their way with it, but they can't. Just Pittsburgh and their tenacious defense. The hallmark of Bob Lilly. Chipped over to the far. Flag is up.
Close call there. Francois out wide. It looked like Nicklaw might have stopped and kept him on. Very close decision there.
Halfway through minute number 40. Once again, the goal by Vanke Azil in the 27th is the margin so far, 1-0. The wind and rain machine is out tonight. And in the first half, the Stripes are going from right to left against the wind, and you're seeing how it can wreak havoc, as well as all the water that's on the transplanted sod there from the infield. Right foot can, easy pickup.
Good hit from distance on this left field. Alacan has to get his body behind it. Ben Fitzpatrick, he has 1 goal in 3 matches this season. This is his 2nd start. Tries to test Can there.
Lubon in pursuit with Metcalf. It's Lubon last, and so Metcalf will try to size up his throw in here halfway through minute 41.
Alacan in his 7th match with Atlanta United 2. 4-2-0 record. Alacan has been by far the most successful of Atlanta United 2's goalkeepers this season.
Goals against it at 1.5. As a team this season, goals against is 2.15. Goslin in pursuit there. Trying to work through the middle once again. There's Banjo. 3 kits there, but he figured he'd launch with the right. Too much behind it. Goal kick. Once again, you're going to see the ball do funny things. You're going to see it take funny hops. It's going to be skipping. It's a slip and slide. So it's a bit of an adventure here tonight at the Proving Ground. Pittsburgh leading here in the 42nd by the score of 1-0. Nicely done that time by Alec Can. Defended and out by Pittsburgh. So it'll be a throw for the Stripes. Gallagher looking for some help. Give and go with Castro, but now the switch is on. And there it is with the captain, Jack Metcalf. Back to Cochran. Over to Nicklaw. With the fluorescent cleats. He's easy to pick out on a night like this, and you know there's going to be some cleats changed at the break too. Nicely done to dribble out of trouble that time by Gallagher, but Pittsburgh comes down with it, and they're going to try to work their way into the offensive third. On a break. Nicely done, but once again conditions falling into it. Swing and a miss, and Can ends up with it.
Late run from Fitzpatrick. He had more time and space than he thought he did. Tried to hit that first time. Alec Can's able to grab the loose ball.
Cochran found Sandoval and ends up with Kisiadu. Spins out of trouble. He'll send it back to Metcalf.
Cochran's consistently looked for that low pass diagonally across the formation.
Jackson Conway gets leveled as he tries to turn. And there's going to be a reach into the pocket there, and there it is. And we head toward minute 44. Conway had the opportunity and just gets absolutely leveled and taken off his feet.
It's an excellent first touch from Jackson Conway. Defender no chance to make the tackle there. Drops Conway, doesn't let him continue in on goal. Hugh Roberts picks up the yellow card. Former USL first teamer in 2016 with the Richmond Kickers. Roberts gets caught by the academy forward Jackson Conway that time.
So let's see what the idea is here for the Stripes on the set piece. Is it going to be the captain with the right or entry with the left? It's the right foot and over the bar. Trying to work it to the upper corner on the far side as we're looking at it, far post, and it was too much, and so it cleared the bar by about a foot, so it'll be a goal kick as we head to the 45th minute.
Metcalf didn't miss by too much, and I'm not sure how much Dan Lynn saw of it. Makes the big dive across.
So Lynn will launch into the center circle. Fitzpatrick there first, and another whistle, so it'll be another opportunity for a free kick for the Stripes here.
Goslin fouled by Dabo.
Metcalf and Kissy-Adu. Kissy-Adu trying to dribble and spin out of traffic, just sends it backwards. Compact passing, and now the launch and the idea trying to spring Sandoval.
We'll have to see if Scott Donnelly can find a little more speed up top. With Pittsburgh playing such a high line, Metcalf and Cochran have both looked for that ball over the top. Sandoval and Conway just aren't able to get a step on Pittsburgh's back line.
Banjo trying to work his way through, and they're going to call a foul there on A.J. Cochran as he tried to work his way through to the near side. 1 minute added here in the first half.
Good move to the outside by Kay Banjo to draw Cochran in and earn the foul, drawing the contact. Another dangerous set piece opportunity for the Riverhounds. Looks like Forbes is going to take this. Forbes and Francois are over this. Four-man wall for Atlanta.
Lauren Kissy-Adu should join, or will join, possibly.
Kissy-Adu's ready to step if they play it short.
Sent into the wall. Thought it'll be a corner kick. That's going to leave a mark.
A.J. Cochran sacrificing skin on that one. Not much time left. Pittsburgh with a corner. Canardo Forbes taking it.
Having a career year, sends it in, headed over the bar. And that'll do. First 45 in the books. And it's a lot of wet, having to juggle the conditions, but it happened in the 27th with Vanke Azil.
Thomas Vanke Azil heads it home after a great set piece from Cristiano Francois. Pittsburgh takes the lead. They're 9-0-3 when leading at halftime. We'll see if John Gallagher and Atlanta United 2 can find a way back into it.
We will do that. We'll take a look at the first half, walk you through it, let you know what else is going on around the USL as we are coming up on the final weekend of the regular season. From the Proving Ground, a very wet Proving Ground. It is 1-0 Pittsburgh, who needs a full result tonight. With Jason, I am John at USL Soccer on ESPN+. We'll be right back after this, the half.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
Welcome back to a very wet Coolray Field in suburban Atlanta, Georgia. At the break, it is Pittsburgh leading Atlanta United 2 by the score of 1-0, with the Riverhounds needing full result tonight to keep pace to try to chase the second seed in the Eastern Conference. Jason, it's been a big couple of weeks for the USL with the rebranding that has happened. It's now USL and the championship, and it's League One and League Two. Busy time for the USL.
I love the rebrand because it just makes it clearer how that progression works. And I mean, we can look no further than our goal scorer tonight, Thomas Vankiazil, a player came out of the University of Charleston in West Virginia, an NCAA Division II school. Not a lot of hype about him coming out of college. He was the player of the year in NCAA Division II, but not a big opportunity for him. One of the things that prepared him for his season in Pittsburgh, though, was last season playing for the Mississippi Bria in the PDL. Now that progression, I think with the rebrand, with League Two, League One, and the championship, it's so much easier to follow, and you're going to see more guys like Vankiazil take that opportunity to develop and move up.
And now here's a look at your primer as to the future of the USL. So that's your look at the rebrand, Jason, and the Southeast when it comes to League Two, League One, and the future. There's going to be a lot of presence from the Southeastern United States.
Yeah, we saw some when we drove into the parking lot here at Coolray Field today. Birmingham Legion represented on the back of a car, maybe taking a look at their potential competition in the USL Championship. But we're also going to see USL League One team down in Statesboro, Georgia, a group we know very well, South Georgia Tormenta. That easy to understand progression. I think it's going to make it easy for fans to get even more invested in USL action across all levels.
And that is a part of the news and notes that are going on around the league. There's the rebranding with the 3 verticals that we've talked about. Then Cameron Lancaster, I guess the trivia question is now Matt Fondy. He's no more.
That goal from Cameron Lancaster last night, the first one that set the record, what a goal, and what a moment too, because it wasn't just that it's the goal that sets the record. It was a big goal for Lou City as they were trailing at the time to North Carolina FC. I'm excited about the Cup races. I watched a lot of the action last night on ESPN+. Nashville had drama. Lou City and North Carolina FC had drama. This weekend is going to have a lot of drama across both conferences.
You mentioned that with just the crazy Cup races going into the final weekend. 4 sides playing for those 2 spots in the East, 2 playoff berths, and 3 sides. So it's 4 for 2 on the East, 3 for 2 in the West. It's going to be a fun weekend here in the USL for the last weekend of the regular season. And then you look at the team of the week, and there's a guy in the upper right-hand corner of that full screen, very familiar.
Yeah, a guy that we know pretty well, Romario Williams, with a big week and a big day against the Charleston Battery, his former club. 2 goals, the game tire and the game winner, both assisted by Andrew Carlton. Strong performance from Romario Williams.
Also on the board, you get Forrest Lasso, who has really come into his own. Knew him in Charleston with the Battery last season with FC Cincinnati. Joe Greenspan from Pittsburgh also on that back line. And then the action, the balance from everybody focuses on Cameron Lancaster in Louisville, but part of the team of the week is one of his teammates.
Yeah, Illich is a big-time player for Lou City, but let's not forget about Lance Lang either, a long-time veteran that we've seen in a variety of different places. He's had a great year for San Antonio.
So you look at that team of the week across the board, it's Charleston, Sacramento, Reno, a lot of representation across the board. Now, if the playoffs started right now, look at those matchups and what do you see?
Oh, it's interesting. There's a few teams that could move around a little bit. I know Pittsburgh is really trying to get into that #2 spot. They want more than just one home game if everything holds. It's their first playoff appearance since 2015, and we'll see where it could fall for them. Right now, they've got a tough one in terms of who they might be facing. Nashville's another team that we're looking at. Where are they going to end up slotting at?
Yes, I mean, right now it would be Nashville and Lou City. Red Bulls 2 in Pittsburgh. Charleston at MUSC Health going up against Indy 11, Cincinnati.
Red Bulls 2 and Pittsburgh play this weekend.
Yes, so it could be back and forth. That's just how it is if it started right this very second, but that's what the last weekend of the regular season is for. When we come back, we'll let you know what else is going on. Take a look at first half highlights, stats, take a peek at what's going to happen in the final weekend of the regular season. It is USL Soccer on ESPN Plus from the Proving Ground. 1-0 Pittsburgh at the break. We'll be right back after this.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
Welcome back to a very wet Coolray Field here in suburban Atlanta, Georgia. It is halftime with Pittsburgh leading ATL UTD 2 by the score. of 1-0. And, you know, Jason, when we look at what went down in the first half, sloppy pitch, a lot of activity going back and forth, but it took a while for both teams really to kind of get into the match itself.
Yeah, the conditions are just going to make this a very difficult match for both teams. We'll see how Pittsburgh and Atlanta both respond here in the second half, but let's get into the first half as it went down. Pittsburgh conceded possession a lot. They allowed Atlanta to have the ball, but they really prevented the chances. We see Alessandro Castro with an early chance. He scored from distance earlier this season. This time, not so much. He does not test Dan Lind, puts it into the bullpen over the goal.
And then when you have opportunities, you have to take advantage of them, especially when they're corners, but none of the corners have turned into anything in the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's looked a little more dangerous on set pieces. They just have a size advantage, and then they get the goal here off the set piece. It's a great ball in from Cristiano Francois. Could be the man of the match at this point, but Thomas Vanke Azil on the back post wins the header, gets behind Devin Sandoval, loses his mark, and buries it past Alec Can.
And then Banjo with an opportunity as well.
K. Banjo with an opportunity late, getting the start tonight instead of Nico Brett. Not the best of chances on this one, but this side of the field is so difficult for Pittsburgh to get any clean looks on goal because of the crazy hops and crazy bounces you're going to get.
You mentioned crazy hops and bounces. Andrew Lubon tried to do it as well for Pittsburgh in the first half.
Yeah, 11 shots for Pittsburgh. They took their chances, but it was hard to get any clean looks because of this side of the field, and we'll see how Atlanta deals with it in the second half.
Anything else peek out to you when it comes to the first 45 other than probably wardrobe changes and cleat changes?
Possession about what you would expect, 53.5 for Atlanta, 46.5 for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh with 11 shots, Atlanta with 4. 3 shots on goal for the Riverhounds, none for Atlanta. And when you dig a little deeper into the stats and you start looking at some of the individuals who stand out, this is a stat line you don't see very often. Cristiano Francois, 100% passing accuracy. He's only had 9 passes, but he's created 4 chances out of those 9 passes. It's been dangerous down the left for the Riverhounds.
What we will do is take a peek at the final 45 minutes when we come back. Get you ready for the second half. We are at Coolray Field, the proving ground. It is 1-0 Pittsburgh with a goal in the 27th. We'll set you up for the second 45 minutes here. And when you think about the ideas of the second half, I mean, you wanted to have more speed with all of that. So any ideas possibly for ATL UTD2?
Well, you look at the bench and you have Lagos Kunga and Dylan Gaither, 2 players who we've seen their ability to get forward and score goals this season. Dylan Gaither has the equalizer in stoppage time earlier this year off a ball from fellow Academy player Natnell McDonald. Lagos Kunga, Atlanta United homegrown signing from Clarkston, Georgia. A player who scored early this season against Charlotte, one of the early contenders for goal of the year. Kunga has the speed to get in behind this back line. I want to see how Pittsburgh deals with the conditions that they're facing now. They're going to have the wind in their face. They're going to be on the sloppier side of the field. How quickly do they adjust with the ball stopping in the sod and skipping through the sod? That's going to go a long way to seeing if they can keep their 18th clean sheet of the season.
Team huddle for the Stripes here. The rain not as heavy as it has been, but the rain and wind machine is still out. So once again, as you're looking, it's going to come from the low left-hand part of your screen and work your way toward the upper right-hand part of your screen. As you're watching here in the second half, that's where the wind is going. That's where the rain is going.
Shout out to all the Riverhounds fans who are watching back in Pittsburgh. Special thanks to PittsburghSoccerNow.com, one of the great sites out there covering USL action. It's been a great resource for us as we've been preparing for this one.
And once again, thanks for accessing us however you were doing so, large screen or small, remote or fixed. He's Jason Longshore. I'm John Nelson. Thanks for once again being a part of things here with USL Soccer on ESPN+. Pittsburgh with that 1 goal on the board in the 27th minute, with Vanke Azil getting it on the board. The reminder once again, Pittsburgh needs full points here to have any kind of an opportunity to make it to the 2 seed when it comes to the Eastern Conference and the playoff picture. If it doesn't happen tonight, then they are locked into position. the Battery at the 4 had mentioned that they were going to go ahead and start selling tickets. We looked at the possible bracket, which could be Charleston and Indy. But right now the 2 and the 3 are what's in question. Pittsburgh trying to make their way and tap Lou City on the shoulder to tell them that the quest isn't over quite yet. So once again, Pittsburgh in their all-white kits, going from right to left as you're watching. And ATL UTD2 is going from left to right in their striped kits here at Coolray Field.
Seen a little bit of a shift for Pittsburgh. Vanke Azil's playing on the back line now with Roberts, with Pratzner. Looks like they might be going to 3 center backs and wing backs on the outside.
Devin Sandoval trying to get the ball, and the 11s are as they started here in the second 45 minutes. Pass with not a whole lot behind it, so it'll be an opportunity for the Stripes coming here halfway through minute 47.
Yeah, Vanke Azil sitting much deeper between Hugh Roberts and Todd Pratzner.
Gaither trying to spring Kisiadu, but he's locked down, so we'll send it backwards once again to the back line. Work it around the horn and send it over. Alessandro Castro flicks it back to the back line. Tries for the big cross, trying to go for the hop there. Defended once again by Lubon, coming back quickly. And Pratzner was there as well.
Excellent job by Lubon to get that one clear. Pittsburgh's very comfortable in just clearing their lines, playing direct, sitting back and absorbing pressure. That's what they're going to have to do in this half of the field.
Now keep an eye on 6 in the white kits, Hugh Roberts, who had the yellow card in minute number 43, and there's an opportunity here. Flag is up as Devin Sandoval started a little early.
Pittsburgh playing that high line, making it difficult to time those passes. Kisiadu just a step slow on the pass. Sandoval got an early jump.
Len sends it in as we start minute number 49. Center circle, and Pittsburgh will try to send it down deep. Defended by A.J. Cochran, who will get it back from Alec Can very quickly.
Good recovery from Metcalf to keep that. Cochran's pass came up just a little short. Metcalf was able to pounce on it and keep possession.
Can with a little back and forth. Banjo in pursuit. Sent forward. Castro trying to turn, and he does. A lot of opportunity there. And the splash toward third base. Sent out. It will be a Stripes throw.
Castro asking a lot of John Gallagher to cover a ton of ground to get to that. Just to step off.
Castro and Gallagher working with it, but it's a turnover. Banjo is there, as is Fitzpatrick.
Francois had gotten in behind Gallagher, but Atlanta was able to recover enough, force that back. Now Francois is on it.
Francois trying to drive, thinks about it with the right, blocked. Corner kick.
Cristiano Francois with 4 goals, 5 assists on the season. Looking very dangerous tonight.
Guido Gonzalez trying to have a discussion with the individuals in the various kits inside the 18 before the corner kick is sent in. And the bands of rain just keep coming and coming and coming. Sent in, but once again cleared by the Stripes, not all the way out. Another opportunity, sent in with the right. Can right there.
That was a tricky one for Alec Can. He's able to get to it quickly. Francois tried to beat him at the near post from distance.
Early minute 51, 1-0 Pittsburgh over ATL UTD2. Next to last match of the season for the Stripes. Season finale will be Saturday evening against the Richmond Kickers. who, as we mentioned in the USL rebrand at the half, they're a part of the rebrand story on multiple levels.
Kickers will be moving to USL League One next season.
Is there enough to slow it down in time? Yes, there is. Nicely done. Sent back on the diagonal by Gallagher. Wide open, kick, save.
Huge save from Dan Lind there. Laurent Kisiadou with a prime opportunity to equalize. Lind had a little help as well with some extra cover from his back line, but Dan Lind with the save to preserve the clean sheet early in the second half.
Big opportunity for the Stripes here. Kisiadou with another opportunity. Winds up in the net. First chance. Big save, Dan Lind. Second chance, back of the net. 52nd minute, tied at 1 at the Proving Ground.
Almost a carbon copy of the first chance. Laurent Kisiadou just inside the top of the 18, able to take a touch, create a little space this time, evade the sliding defender, and slot it home past Dan Lind. No clean sheet for the Riverhounds tonight. Laurent Kisiadou with his 3rd goal of the season.
For the 3rd match in a row here on the homestand. Another opportunity for Pittsburgh. Shot to the near post, no good. Gallagher gets the assist on the Kisiadou goal.
That's Gallagher's 6th assist of the season.
For Kisiadou, his 3rd goal in the year.
We've got ourselves a match here in the 53rd minute.
And once again, reminder, draw and or loss do Pittsburgh no good trying to chase the 2nd seed in the East. They need full result here. Otherwise, they're locked into place. And the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4 in the East are all figured out as we head into the final weekend.
And they can go for it here. A loss doesn't hurt them. They can't fall any further down than the 3. So they can absolutely open up and go for the win here. Great test for playoff action coming up for the Riverhounds.
Francois thought about it, but it'll end up heading all the way back. Pittsburgh in pursuit over at the far. From the elbow inside the 18, Banjo tries to do something with the right, deflected through the open door into the bullpen, so it'll be a corner kick for Pittsburgh at the far.
Corner kick on the far side for Pittsburgh. Atlanta has to stay locked in. They get the equalizer. They found the equalizer very late against Tampa Bay. Made their playoff lives very difficult to reach, and Tampa Bay ended up not getting into the postseason. See if they can have an effect on Pittsburgh's postseason lives here tonight.
Minute 55, tied at 1s. Lynn sends it over at the far, so Can sends it back in. So what can the Stripes do coming from left to right?
Tried to pick out Devin Sandoval, who had shown for it inside his own half. It gets past him. Pressure's all on Pittsburgh at this point.
Ray Lee tries to send it forward. It's off Castro, so it'll be a throw for the Hounds here. Lee trying to send it in toward Banjo. A lot of space over on the far. Chip, launch, headed up into the air. Second ball picked up by the Stripes, coming back the other way with it. Can't track it down, so it's still along the perimeter. It's going to be with Pittsburgh, but there's an opportunity here.
Nice tackle by Laurent Kisiadou. Sandoval with a touch, unable to find Conway.
Conway tried to put a little more speed in his cleats. The ball was behind him there, but once again settled by ATL UTD2. Switch to the near. Gallagher had it, lost it. Coming back with it is Ray Lee.
The wind picked up when that ball was played to Gallagher. It got to him really quickly.
Francois trying to figure out what to do. He's at the elbow on the near side, just trying to figure out what to do. Clearing the ball for ATL UTD2. Sent in Francois. Nicely done by Alec Can.
Alec Can gets off his line quickly in front of Kay Banjo. Smothers that low cross. Now an opportunity for Oliver Shannon to turn quickly. Alec Can read that well, saw what he had coming in behind him. He gets out in front of the attacker, Banjo. Grabs it, rolls it out to Shannon to kickstart the attack.
Gallagher and Conway just miss a connection there. Francois trying to figure out how to drive on Castro, but he has to bring it all the way back to Hugh Roberts. And they'll work their way forward. As they would like to. Nicely done with the slide tackle there. It's going to stick with Pittsburgh with the throw, but nicely defended there.
Conway slides in a little bit further than maybe he thought he was going to slide. He makes the tackle. That's a spot where Atlanta can pressure and pressure up high. It's very tough to dig the ball out in possession on this left touch line, the near side touch line.
Four passes completed in a row, trying to spring Devin Sandoval. Lind way out of his own net to help defend. Sandoval now here in the corner. Gets a little help. Cycled back. Have to work their way backwards just a little bit more. Switch over to the far. Gallagher is there. Molly Shannon. And they'll send it over to the near side again with Nick Law. Gallagher's available. Lee in pursuit. Castro. A lot of crowded space there, but they'll send it in with the right low. Deflected nicely by Hugh Roberts and cleared by Pittsburgh.
Conway going for the volley. That first ball over the top. Excellent defending by Todd Pratzner. Lind had come off his line, but Pratzner was able to see Sandoval out all the way, forces that ball out to the touchline, denies the challenge, denies the chance.
Tried to spring Banjo that time. Shannon in the middle. Trying to have Conway work his way forward, but it ends up back with Pittsburgh. Roberts and Pratzner going back and forth. Ray Lee trying to spring Francois. Dabo with the pass, and now the opportunity is trying to be worked over on the far side. Sent in with the left, easily defended that time. Slide tackle to keep possession. Nicely done by the Stripes.
Huge tackle by Chris Goslin. Had to get that right. Kisidu bowled over on the far side.
On a joust that time, won by Pittsburgh, last touched by the Hounds. Stay up to date with all the best of social media from around the USL by watching Off the Post with Kelsey Steele every Friday evening on the USL social media channels. Stripes with it here as we turn to minute number 60. Tied at ones. Vanke Azil in the 27th. Kisidu in the 52nd, 25 minutes later, and that puts us where we are. Lind will come out and grab that one. Trying to spring Jackson Conway.
A little too much under that one from Chris Goslin as he's looking for Conway.
Lind looking for Banjo. Second ball won by Castro, trying to dribble out of a jam. Nice touch, but it ends up back center circle with Pratzner, and he'll work the right cleat to try to spring Francois over at the far. But once again, header here, header there. Jousts one, but it ends back up with Pittsburgh. Francois trying to work on the near. Sent inside, but once again, here come the Stripes. A lot of space in the middle, closed up very quickly. Tried to spring Kisidu there, but not enough behind it.
Risky ball from Metcalf, turns it over.
Trying to get Banjo involved. Nicely done there. So let's see if the Stripes can calm things down a little bit. And they'll call the whistle there. Bit of a climb. Quick reset for the Stripes here halfway through minute 61.
Fitzpatrick challenges Shannon from behind, commits the foul.
Shannon, Nicklaw, Gallagher. Back into the middle, Ali Shannon over to the far. Both Metcalf and Cochran kind of working their way forward a little bit. Tries to go for the entry, deflected. Sandoval trying to spring Conway, flags up.
First ball from Shannon was deflected as he's looking for Conway. Initially, it falls to Sandoval. By the time he tries to play it through to Conway, Jackson had already made the run and was offside.
As Dan Lind is trying to find a place to launch the ball in. By the way, the 2018 USL Cup playoffs kick off next week as we begin the road to the 2018 USL Cup, which will air Thursday, November 8th on ESPN2 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Stay up to date with matchups, brackets, kickoff times, key storylines, and much more starting on Monday at USLsoccer.com.
Lind with a slice out to the right side. Turns that over. Throw for Atlanta.
Gosselin tried to have it, but it was booted away, and back comes Pittsburgh very, very quickly behind Banjo. Banjo wanted it about 2 strides ahead of where he was behind him, and so the Stripes will send it forward here in minute 63. Opportunity now off the header. Second ball corralled by ATL UTD2. But they'll settle at the back and try to come forward as a group. Castro tries to spin, doesn't happen. Forbes is there.
Ooh, Canardo Forbes.
Francois trying to drive right on Alec Can near post. Point blank corner kick.
Starts with Canardo Forbes defending Alessandro Castro, takes it off of him and then jukes him to the ground. Plays in Francois, who decides to take it himself this time. Tries to beat Can at the near post, and Can just gets his body behind it.
Turn to minute 64. Corner looking for the far, headed down. Defended by the Stripes, and it will be a throw in the middle third. Just
Sean Nicklaw with the final ball, clearing that out, but an opportunity quick throw.
Dribble drive along the inline launch with the right foot over everything, so it'll be a goal kick.
Francois just trying to blast that in from the end line. Look for a deflection in front. Banjo and Fitzpatrick unable to get there. Looks like Atlanta's preparing a substitution. Believe it's Lagos Kunga preparing to enter the game. It's that speed advantage we talked about.
So let's see the Stripes as they build out of. Looks like Lagos Kunga comes in, and he will be replacing Alessandro Castro.
Good night for Castro. I like Castro's comp.
For Pittsburgh, intercepted, but it ends up back with Pittsburgh just as quickly. Pittsburgh's going to have a substitution coming at their next break. Opportunity there to intercept for the Stripes defensively. And let's see if they can spring Conway and Sandoval. Conway tries to send a header forward, but the defense gets there first in the form of Hugh Roberts, and Lynn will send it to the middle third.
Sandoval just a step off, not able to get there. Now Francois rampaging through the middle again.
Sent back toward the center line, so the switch is off a hand. And this might be the opportunity for the substitution for Coach Lilly in Pittsburgh. And it will be. So it looks like Joe Holland coming in. And it'll be the end of the night for Ben Fitzpatrick.
Joe Holland's a player that had a chance to see a little bit with the Houston Dynamo last season. 5 matches in Major League Soccer with the Dynamo. He was the number 10 pick in last year's Super Draft. He had 4 goals with Rio Grande Valley in USL action. I like his technical abilities. Young English player, played in the PDL with Ventura County Fusion and the Long Island Rough Riders. 4 years at Hofstra have him ready for this. I've been really impressed with him in the limited chances I've had to see him.
Big boot in the way that time by Ray Lee to send it back, so the Stripes have to rebuild.
We've seen Francois move over to the right side. Holland is on the left. See how Jack Metcalf does defending Cristiano Francois tonight.
Kissiadou dribbles through a couple of white kits, brings it toward the middle, sends it over to the far. Possession kept, then possession turned over here as we start minute number 68, and the player down for Pittsburgh.
Metcalf goes in strong to win that 50-50 ball. Goes through the player. Mohamed Dabo slow to get up. Guido Gonzalez going to have a conversation with Metcalf. Don't believe he called a foul there. If he did, he called it late.
Metcalf saw the opportunity, got there first, went through, and then the contact with Dabo was what sent Dabo down.
He does call the foul. It's a free kick for Pittsburgh.
So let's take another peek as you see both Metcalf heading in. Metcalf saw the opportunity, chased after it, got to the ball, sent it back toward the right, and then Dabo made contact with Dabo, and then Dabo went down.
That's where the conditions can be a little tricky, and Gonzalez has that same conversation with Metcalf that he had with a couple of Pittsburgh players in the first half. You have to really be careful about your challenges on a surface like this.
Headed clear, but it'll be a throw deep in the defensive third of ATL UTD 2 for Pittsburgh. And just basically pogoed back out of bounds for another throw, done quickly. Banjo was looking for it, trying to work his way to spring his own right foot, but the Stripes have an opportunity here off the turnover, but turned back over just as quickly, trying to go through a two-player wall. And once again, the first chance we had to discuss what Joe Holland could do with it, but sent into the mixer and sent back away.
Ray Lee's cross headed away. Lagos Kunga gets caught too many touches in the top of his own defensive 18. Joe Holland takes it off of him, and Holland nearly bulldozes through the Atlanta back line.
So we'll have a throw at the far here. Minute number 70 coming up. Nicely done, gated opportunity there. Is it going to be with the left? Nope, they're going to pass it here. Once again, heading in to the acute angle, trying to work the right foot, but cleared and sent back in by Hugh Roberts.
Pittsburgh with all the momentum right now, keeping possession inside Atlanta's half. Atlanta just struggling to get a foot on the ball right now and clear their own lines.
Holland tried to drive again. Once again, just Pittsburgh putting out all the pressure right now. Opportunity to send it forward. Conway fouled on the joust.
Vanky Azil with his hands all over the back of Jackson Conway. No need there. It looked like Vanky Azil was going to win the header. If he didn't, he had teammates behind him. Bad decision on that foul. It gives Atlanta a chance to clear their own half.
Once again, Pittsburgh had the lead, scoring in the 27th with Vanky Azil. That was the lead that they took to the interval, but Laurent Kissiadou, practically an identical opportunity that he had in the 52nd minute, has tied the game at ones, and this is where we are right now. And we see the field kind of tilt in Pittsburgh's favor in the last 10 minutes or so.
Kissiadou loses possession right up against the touchline. Forbes breaks away.
Holland tries to bring it in with the left through the goal mouth, and it goes to the far side, and it's going to be a throw for the Stripes.
Holland was looking for Banjo or Francois, crashing on the back post just ahead of everybody.
Conditions have calmed somewhat, and I'll just use the word somewhat for the time being, as the bands associated with Hurricane Michael have worked their way through.
Good ball from Kunga to Conway.
So let's see what Jackson Conway can do with it here. Tries to send it backwards into the infield, but it settles down in all of that splash.
It's great work by Ray Lee to dig that out.
Yep. So it'll stick with the stripes. They had the opportunity there. Opportunity here, but too much for Devin Sandoval. So it'll be a goal kick for Pittsburgh.
Metcalf looks for the quick ball to Sandoval, just overhits it.
Who are the young standouts competing in the USL? You need to know now. Check out the 2018 USL 20 under 20 throughout this week at USLsoccer.com as we reveal the best players aged 20 and under in the league this season.
Would expect we'll see a few Atlanta United 2 players on that list.
Yes, sir.
If not, I'm demanding a recount.
Dan Lynn sends it forward, center circle, a lot of bodies going after it, and it looks like it's going to be a foul called on Pittsburgh, as it looked like
quick yellow.
Ollie Shannon hit the deck.
Quick yellow shown there. Reckless challenge in on Oliver Shannon. Andrew Lubon picking up the yellow card. Like a high boot that catches Shannon.
Yep, Lubon came in with his right and almost tried to do a bit of a high knee lift to try to clear. So Lubon gets the yellow in the 72nd.
Kunga tries to take Lubon there, but excellent defending. Erie, PA native redeems himself with a good tackle on Lagos Kunga.
Guido Gonzalez wants the throw put in a little further back. Or a little further back.
1-1, 74th minute. Both teams have some options on the bench that can change this match. Nico Brett for Pittsburgh. We haven't seen him yet tonight. Romeo Parks as well, another attacking threat for the Riverhounds. Dylan Gaither, the academy player for Atlanta United 2, would be their attacking threat on the bench. Kevin Barajas, Luke Mitchell, another academy player, also available.
Once again trying to spring Holland on the near corner. Defended and out, and Guido Gonzalez wishes that Mr. Holland would move backwards a little bit.
More strong defending from Sean Nicklaw, forcing the throw from Ray Lee.
Kay Banjo posting up, tries to send it in front of Alec Can, just cleared basically straight up into the air. Pittsburgh will come down with it one more time. Banjo at the elbow, trying to work his way toward the end line, sends it all the way through. And settled. Let's see what Conway can do with it here. Can't gain control, but they'll call a foul as Conway tried to pivot.
That's good defensive work from Lagos Kunga. When he first came on, he got caught dribbling at the top of his own 18. Now he's playing a lot quicker when he's packed in defending. He's getting the ball out of his own half quicker. That's a good ball out to Jackson Conway, who earns the free kick.
Sent all the way back to Alec Can here in the 75th.
Heavy touch there from Kunga, trying to find Metcalf.
Nice idea for the give and go. Banjo settles, but here come the stripes. Kisiadu dispossessed. Once again, here's Holland. Thought about trying to do something with it, sends it backwards. Banjo chests it down. Dribbling through the middle of it all and picked off.
Kunga keeps possession again, finds Shannon.
Nicely done there. So what can Lagos do now? Trying to find a partner. Flicked over here to the near side. And there's some real estate available. As Kisiadu gets sprung. Here it is. Big launch with the right, looking into the middle. Two stripes are there. Flag is up.
Pratzner with the touch. I believe that secondary ball as it goes up is where the offside was called. Not sure if it was called on the initial cross from Kisiadu. It's great work by Gallagher, breaking down the right, lays it off to Kisiadu. His cross, Pratzner with a lunging effort to pop it up into the air.
Both Sandoval and Conway were there trying to get the go-ahead goal for the Stripes. Sandoval doubles back now, trying to spring Kissy-Adu here. Dribbling on Roberts through the infield where it slows down and gives Pittsburgh a chance to regroup.
Kissy-Adu tries to hit Kunga on the far side, unable to find him.
And back to Can one more time. Nicola will send it back. Banjo in pursuit.
Pittsburgh preparing a couple of substitutions. They're looking for the 3 points here. As we said, a draw or a loss does them no good.
Kissy-Adu with the opportunity. Jackson Conway, it slows down. Can he get it past? Save Lind. And Jackson Conway cannot believe it.
It's a great recovery from Jackson Conway to react to that ball just stopping in the muck at the top of the 18, but it's an even better reaction from Dan Lind to get the left hand down and make the save on Conway's effort.
Creature Comforts corner kick. Let's see what the Stripes can do here. Almost had the opportunity in transition here early in the 78th. Sent in by Metcalf, heading to the far, and sent out.
Good header away by Hugh Roberts initially.
Forbes with the big right boot to send it out into the middle third. Stripes hanging on to it, whistle there.
Francois commits that foul. Here come Pittsburgh subs. Ray Lee's night is over. Really good second half from Lee at left back. Romeo Parks comes on, an attacking threat for the Riverhounds.
So Nico Brett is now in, and he'll swap out for Banjo. So Nico Brett, Romeo Parks in. Okay, Banjo out, Ray Lee out.
Brett for Banjo is just a like-for-like sub. Brett will go up to his usual spot leading the line for the Riverhounds. Curious to see how they adjust in the back with Lee out. Lee's been playing on the left side. Thought maybe we'd see Venky Azil slide over to the left where he's played a lot this season. He's staying central. Looks like it's going to be Lubon moving over to the left side. Conway brought down, no foul.
Stripes wanted a whistle, didn't get it, but now they have possession. What can they do with it? Work in the middle, give and go between Gosselin and Sandoval. Big work with the right boot trying to get Kissy-Adu done. Sandoval trying to figure out how to settle into the traffic, hits a couple of different bodies, and Pittsburgh just clears.
I think John Gallagher was just looking for a deflection as he rocketed that one into the 18.
You can't fault him in a night like this with the turf being what it is on that right-hand side. And what it is, period, here with all of the rain that has happened tonight. You get a fortunate bounce, you get a deflection, you get something happening. You get another ball in the back of the net with a 1-1 margin, flags up as Conway tried to spring Kissy-Adu here toward the tail end of minute 80.
Nico Brett with about 10 minutes plus to look for his 16th goal of the season. He has been the leader for the Riverhounds. 15 goals, 7 assists in 31 matches. He's been a player of the week twice this season, team of the week 3 times. Started his pro career out in Portland. Featured with Portland Timbers too the last couple of years. See if he can lead Pittsburgh looking for a go-ahead goal.
37 points on the season. And it looks like Kevin Barajas is now coming in here in the 81st for Laurent Kissy-Adu.
Barajas, the rookie out of the University of Kentucky, a local product. Played mostly central this season. Kissy-Adu has been out wide tonight. We'll see if Scott Donnelly adjusts to the substitutions made by the Riverhounds.
So Kissy-Adu with his 3rd goal of the season back in minute 52. It was the equalizer for ATL UTD2. 24th match of the year that Kissy-Adu's gotten minutes.
Big night for Kitsidou, signed to a USL contract this season, came through Atlanta United's academy. Before that, a player who was very well known in the local youth soccer community by Tony Annan, Atlanta United's academy director. Played with the Charleston Battery last season, late in the year. Become a regular for Atlanta United too this season.
Mankey Azil looking for a partner, tries to send it forward, looking for Holland too much.
Atlanta in more of a 4-3-3 shape with Barajas, Goslin, and Shannon in the middle of the midfield. Conway, Sandoval, and Kunga up top. Pittsburgh high press.
Absolutely looking to pounce on Alec Can and anything going on in the ATL UTD2 half of the pitch right now as we're heading toward minute 83. Stripes in pursuit defensively. There's a takeaway there. Last touched by ATL UTD2. It'll be a deep throw for Pittsburgh. And here comes the rain again. And don't call me Annie Lennox. Easy pickings for Alec Can.
That high press from Pittsburgh, they haven't really done that all night long.
Nope.
You could see it shock Atlanta there. You have to play at a different speed when a team decides to turn up the press. We'll see if Atlanta can adjust.
There's your knuckleball that you were talking about early in the first half, coming from Dan Lind. It came from Alec Can that time. Got caught up in the breeze, goes from one end of the pitch to the other, and Dan Lind now's got it.
It's a strong wind coming from right behind Alec Can's goal. It's very hard to judge those punts and long balls out of the back.
Pittsburgh with an opportunity here in the box. Holland, big save, Alec Can.
Big run initially from Kenardo Forbes. It's laid off, and Joe Holland with the blast, but Alec Can makes the save. Can looking to the AR on the far side, wondering why the flag didn't go up. Doesn't matter. Guido Gonzalez sets up for the corner from the near side for Pittsburgh.
Near post, trying to get a couple of glancers in.
Saved at the near post.
Back-to-back opportunity saved by Alec Can, and a whistle as the Stripes get out of the jam.
It's actually Devin Sandoval that time on the near post. Can had no chance to get there. Sandoval with the boot at the near post keeps that out.
Sent in, and you get that opportunity. You mentioned Devin Sandoval. Alec Can came up big to set up the corner. And then Sandoval comes in to save the tie as we head toward minute 85. The defense coming up big for the Stripes.
That's why you have a player on the post. Some teams don't opt to keep a player on the post on corners. Devin Sandoval shows the value in it there. These are the moments that you cannot replicate if you are Atlanta United for these young players on the field in Stripes. You can do these drills in training. You can get into a last goal wins type of scenario. You can try to ratchet up the intensity. Nothing matches when you're facing a team that is trying to move up in the playoff standings and throwing everything they have at you.
Bump off there, no whistle called. The launch with the left. And it goes off of an ATL UTD2 player, so it's going to be a corner at the far.
Oliver Shannon committed the foul, but advantage was played. Pittsburgh had an opportunity. They earned the corner on the far side, taken quickly by Francois.
Sent in with the left by Francois. Can is there, punched and just cleared again over the bar. Another corner for ATL UTD2.
Headed away by the player on the post again. That time it was Jack Metcalf, the captain.
Sent into the middle, a lot of bodies there. Ball on the ground, deflection, nothing happening. Another opportunity cleared by the Stripes.
Barajas gets that one out. Atlanta living dangerously here in the last few minutes.
Lubon looking to send it back in. Can getting aggressive, headed. Second ball. Third ball settled. Holland looking to do something with it. Stripes still can't clear. Working over at the far, chipped in, header right on.
Great work by Kenardo Forbes. He lays it off for Francois. It's a good cross to the near post, but the header's right to Alec Can. Now Lagos Kunga looking for a chance going the other way.
Couldn't control it after that first touch.
Couldn't turn the corner.
Tried to get settled, but an opportunity, and defended by the Stripes again.
Blocked away by Sean Nicklaw. Romeo Parks nearly puts Pittsburgh into the lead.
Flags up.
This time Parks is offside.
How many different names have we mentioned in the last 2 minutes?
Pittsburgh throwing everything at Atlanta right now. This time it's cleared away by Sean Nicklaw after Romeo Parks beats Alec Can with the chance.
Sandoval, Can, Nicklaw, all coming up big in the last 2 minutes to preserve the 1-1 draw right now.
Don't forget Jack Metcalf. He had one too.
Jack Metcalf, 4.
Atlanta is just trying to hold on at the moment. Pittsburgh throwing everything at them. When we saw the double substitution with Brett and Parks coming in, we knew that was Pittsburgh's chance. They have nothing to lose here.
No.
A loss doesn't affect them negatively. They just can't get to the 2 with a loss or a draw. They can go for this, and it's a great opportunity to kind of test what that will look like if you're late in a playoff match and you have to find goals. Now you get to see how Pittsburgh handles this pressure as they prepare for their first postseason since 2015.
But once again, you mentioned about those lessons that you learn on the pitch. For the young players of ATL UTD2, this is a life lesson that is coming right at them, and it's been high pressure for the last couple of minutes.
Well, the game's being played at a different pace. The game's at a different speed than you generally see these matches. Atlanta's trying to get to that pace, and they're struggling a little bit, but they're holding on. Alec Can's experience is a big part of holding on at this point. A.J. Cochran and Jack Metcalf's experience is big for this group right now. But John Gallagher, rookie year as a pro. Kevin Baraja, same. Lagos Kunga, homegrown, young player for Atlanta. Jackson Conway, Atlanta United Academy player. You have guys who are in a situation they have really never been in their careers yet.
On the job training for the Stripes here in the 89th minute. We'll have a handful of minutes added.
Definitely a good bit of time will be added by Guido Gonzalez as we've had a few stoppages here. Goslin now back on the field.
Devin Sandoval wanted to run under it. Too much there, so Lind will pick up. Token pressure by Conway. 5 minutes will be added, so the north end of the 90. You can open up your hand, and each and every finger is going to be counted for it. Opportunity at the far post headed down, and just past the far post. Can was there to cover, so it'll be a goal kick.
Romeo Parks is causing all kinds of problems for Atlanta right now. Running the central channel. That time he drifts out wide, puts in a great ball to Francois. Header just does not get inside of the post. Alec Can had it covered the whole way, watches it go out for the goal kick.
5 goals on the season for Parks in his 23 matches, 15 starts. So this will be match 24 for Romeo this season. Can with a big boot. Sandoval wins the first joust. Lind has to touch it with something other than the mitts, and he's way out of the 18, sending it forward.
Had to continue playing that. No one there to help. Now Pittsburgh pressuring Goslin, who plays it back to Can. Lind was stuck at the top of the 18, had to make sure he got a touch on it without using the hands. Great composure from the goalkeeper from the University of Pittsburgh.
Lubon brings it back in. Roberts tries to find a teammate deep in the 3rd, but he can't do it, but he does get the pick there.
Roberts just steps in front of Sandoval and wins it for the Hounds.
Sent over at the far. Right foot trying to get a bounce, and Can is there.
Dangerous ball from Francois on the far side. Can gets there just in front of Romeo Parks. You can't find it. Parks tries to make the near post run for Francois, but Can's able to get both hands on it. Into stoppage time now. Atlanta still holding on.
Lind advancing, sending it into the offensive 3rd. Last touched on defense by the Stripes. It'll be a deep throw.
Metcalf couldn't control that.
Sent in with the right. Headed. Not enough on it. Easy pickings for Can.
Holland was trying to flick that across, looking for Brett.
There is some space here for the Stripes if they want to do it. But getting there first is the defense once again. Nicely doubling back.
That's fine for Atlanta, though. That's fine for Atlanta. It's a throw. They get a chance to make the substitution. Dylan Gaither will be checking in here for John Gallagher.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Substitution for ATL UTD2. Entering the match is number 43.
So Dylan Gaither coming in here for the final couple of minutes. His 4th match of the year.
It's a big night for Gallagher. He has the assist on the goal for Kisiadu, his 6th assist. 6 goals, 6 assists in John Gallagher's first professional season.
Gaither now in his 4th match has a goal and an assist.
Kevin Barajas jogging over to the right side. Looks like he'll be slotting in at right back for Gallagher. Gaither likely moving up top on the right side with Kunga going back to the left.
Trying to work his way into it. Devin Sandoval. Ball taken away by Luban. Can't quite turn, but the launch is there, but picked off center circle by the Stripes. Opportunity on the give and go for Barajas. It'll be a Creature Comforts corner kick here at the near.
That's great work by Jack Metcalf at midfield. He wins that, picks out a pass. Barajas and Gaither with a nice combination, and Barajas earns the corner kick. Metcalf coming over to take it. That was a very aggressive sub by Donnelly to bring on Gaither. Barajas not typically playing it right back. Not a lot of time left, but Donnelly's looking for 3 points himself.
Once again, we've mentioned here in the homestand, the 3rd match in a row where ATL UTD2 has given up the first goal. Tampa, they came back, got an equalizer, got 2, and got full points last time out. Sent in but cleared. Top of the box, sent back out, but the Stripes maintain possession. Big launch, why not? Deflected. It looks like it went off a Devin Sandoval goal kick.
Sean Nicklaw, he scored from distance before. He's got the green light anytime he's in his own half. But that time it goes off of Sandoval. It's out for the goal kick. Hugh Roberts won that corner decisively at the back post for Pittsburgh.
Guido Gonzalez asking that the throw be made in the Pittsburgh half. Settled. Sent long. Nicely defended there and cleared.
Metcalf won that header over Holland.
Now what is Lind going to do? Work on the 45 degree with the right. But once again, the Stripes come down with it after all, and they'll just send it right back down.
Metcalf, Nicklaw, Cochran holding things down for Atlanta in the back. Barajas over on the left side, Metcalf on the right.
Second ball to Pittsburgh, but the Stripes come down with it.
Kunga flicked it on to Sandoval.
And Jackson Conway wanted it a little less.
Sandoval kind of stuck in between there. Hits it too hard for Conway. No chance for the youngster to get on the end of it. Not much time left. Pittsburgh trying to find a goal to still maintain a chance on the final weekend to move up to the #2 slot in the East.
Headed, Stripes have it, races on. Sent down, and a last opportunity for the Stripes. What's going to happen here? And nicely tackled and cleared, but it's going to be a Creature Comforts corner at the last.
Outstanding tackle from Thomas Vanke Azil. Had to get it right. Lagos Kunga looking for contact there, looking for an opportunity at a penalty, but Vanke Azil with a clean tackle at the edge of the 6. Does give away the corner, but prevents the goal there, prevents the chance for Kunga.
Nicely done by Vanke Azil. Let's see what happens with the right boot. Sent in on the line, headed, cleared.
Dabo with the header at the near post.
Nicely done to reclaim. Sent back in. Lind will grab it, just put it into the breeze. Why not? See what happens. Time ticking away on Pittsburgh and their chase for the 2 in the Eastern Conference. And they won't get it for the third match in a row. ATL UTD2 down a goal to start, come back, get an equalizer, and come out with a point.
Bob Lilly can't be happy with this tonight. 5-4-14 now, the Riverhounds on the season, but Scott Donnelly has to be extremely happy, and extremely happy with the effort of Laurent Kisiadou. Third goal of the season. He had the chance right before it that's cleared away. Kisiadou gets another crack at it and puts it past Dan Lind to get this game back to 1-1 and rescue another match for Atlanta United 2.
So when we come back, we'll recap it and put a bow on this one. The penultimate game for ATL UTD2 in their first season. We'll go over it all when we come back. It's USL Soccer on ESPN+. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
Welcome back to Coolray Field, a very wet Coolray Field. And for the third match in a row, as we mentioned, ATL UTD2 down, but they come back with points by the time the 90 minutes are finished. Jason, let's run through the highlights.
First half goal for Pittsburgh. They were 14-1-3 when scoring first coming into this, 9-0-3 when leading at halftime. They get the goal in the 28th minute. It's a great ball in from Cristiano Francois, picks out Thomas Vanke-Yazil on the back post. He's able to beat Devin Sandoval and head it home past Alec Can.
And Pittsburgh on the front foot. Atlanta United down after the first 45 minutes, but a big night for Laurent Kisiadou, especially in the second 45.
Laurent Kisiadou gets the second half started with some early chances, puts one wide, saved by Lind. It's a kick save, and then Kisiadou gets another opportunity right afterwards, and it's a ball in from John Gallagher. He gets his 6th assist, but Kisiadou, again, inside the top of the 18. He's able to take a touch this time and settle it, and then beat Lind past him into the side netting. It's a great goal from Kisiadou.
And then the game kind of tilted as Pittsburgh released the Hounds, so to speak, and Alec Can came up big.
Big save by Alec Can on Ray Lee. Can, veteran. He was here for a reason with this team. He's here to give this young team a little stability. 4-2-1 in his starts with Atlanta United too.
With a lot of different players came up big, but once again, Joe Holland tried to make his mark.
Yeah, Joe Holland coming over makes a big impact as a substitute. Puts one off the post as Pittsburgh just started the onslaught on the Atlanta goal. After a series of saves off the line, Sean Nicklaw makes this one on Romeo Parks. Parks was another key impactful sub by Bob Lilly. Pittsburgh had their chances late. They had opportunities. They could not find the go-ahead goal.
Anything in the numbers from tonight with a very wet 90 minutes you look at out there, other than Bob Lilly being very disappointed by the end result?
I mean, the biggest thing I'm looking at right now, I've skipped the stats, and I'm looking at Bob Lilly talking to his team inside the center circle right now. From the final whistle until now, they have not left that center circle. Bob Lilly has to pick this team back up and prepare for a last regular season game against an opponent that you might see in the quarterfinals of the Eastern Conference. You have to be ready for that.
And we will see what happens in the final weekend of the regular season. Jason and I will be back here at the Proving Ground for one final match, 7 o'clock. Richmond Kickers come to town, come to the Proving Ground. Thanks for watching USL Soccer on ESPN+. Thanks to Roberto Fernandez and everybody back at the ranch for being in charge of the 1s and 2s and keeping us on our toes all evening long. Everybody be safe with all the weather going on in the southeast. The way it ended is a 1-1 draw. ETL UTD2 and Pittsburgh. Thanks for watching USL Soccer on ESPN+. Play it safe, everybody. We'll see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.